we got Jordan Black from Lake Pacific hanging out. To also mention, Control My Sanity comes out on December 3rd, which is actually my birthday. So that's a fucking double win for this entire conversation. Like,
that's one of my good friends from my hometown's birthday, same day, and he texted me saying, "Thanks for putting it on my birthday." I was like,
"You're welcome."
Yeah. That was specifically directed towards you, my dude.
Yeah, I was like, I remembered. Yes.
I was telling Nick from Calling All Captains, I was like, how come there's so many fucking prominent bands, pop punk bands coming from Canada, like Youth Fountain, We Were Sharks, Lake Pacific, like there's just like a fucking plethora of you guys. Bearings, Seaway, and Chief State.
Oh yeah, Chief State. Yeah, okay. I've never. Yeah, okay. Where are those guys from again?
I'm not sure. I just know
I forget
Canada.
where. But...
I don't want to just like say a random city in Canada, but yeah, they're definitely from Canada.
Because I'll probably agree with you, and then I'll be like, we're both wrong. So.
But it's true though. I mean, this album is it's not too from what I've been dissecting already. It's not too diverse, but you're definitely experimenting a little bit with these songs when you recorded it for sure.
Yeah, totally. We kind of went for what we wanted to do, you know. Like we just kind of were like, all right, let's put out a record that we actually want to put out.
Yeah, seriously. And you had to do that during the fucking pandemic. I'm sure that was probably the hardest fucking process for this entire band.
Honestly, like it was the first 2 months. We like December 2019 is when we started. We had 2 songs, and then we were going to go back in March, and then the world shut down, and only one of us could go at a time for a little bit. So it actually took about 16 months to record the record fully and finish it, because of like 2 months I couldn't see Sam, or like we couldn't all be in the studio or whatever. So like it legit took like 14 to 16 months to do a record.
Were you eventually allowed to get back into the studio together?
Yeah, we were. But it was like also like timing. Like Sam was going to Australia to do the Between You and Me record, and then he was also like going to other places to do other records. And he also had people coming in to do records with him in Toronto. And so it kind of, when we could all be in the studio together, we had to like rush it, you know? Like we really had to like prioritize our time there, because it was like, well, I mean, because Sam had other jobs, right? He couldn't put it on hold. Like our record was supposed to take like 2 or 3 months, and it took like 16. So even it wasn't anyone's fault, but he still has a schedule to follow, right? Like with everything else. So it was annoying.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's got to pay their bills, but I mean, being rushed, I feel like that's the one thing artists shouldn't have to ever come to.
To be fair, we weren't rushing. It was just rushing. It wasn't like the writing part. It was just the recording part, because it was like obviously you had other things to do. But that's it, honestly. Yeah, it just took too long.
Even still.
Did you have like an original timeline that you wanted to? Like, did you want it done by like fall of 2020 to tour in spring of 2021?
Something like that. I think that was like the idea, but I'm really glad we did put it out in 2020, because like I feel like our last record didn't do like super as amazing as I wanted it to do, you know what I mean? Like, and so I wanted to come back with some like crazy relevancy, but like you can't really do that when you can't tour and do things in 2020. So like I'm glad it's coming out now, so that next year we'll have like a schedule, you know?
It's crazy. Like there's going to be such a resurgence. I mean, we already see the resurgence of live music. So I feel like, you know, putting out a record at the end of the year to tour in the spring or fall or whenever, like I feel like it's just the most perfect time. Like everyone wants to go to a show. Honestly,
now and everyone's like begging to go to a show, so I feel like next year is going to be crazy for that. So like I said, that's it's perfect timing for us. Like it took forever, but like I guess for like the, you know, for people to pay attention to the record and be able to tour on a record, like possibility is now there, as opposed to this year was a write-off mostly.
Right. The 4 songs you currently have out are incredible.
Yeah, like, for real, dude.
I think this is some of my favorite stuff that you guys have put out.
I think so too.
It makes sense that Ketamine Jesus at the top, because I'm an aggressive person. I love that kind of fucking, and you know, balls to the wall fucking music, and that shit is just, it fucks so hard. I was like, this is the one I've been waiting for.
That's like the first song I ever wrote like myself. Like I was like, all right, like I'm gonna do this myself. And like, I mean, like to be fair, like Brad and obviously everyone like put their own 2 cents into everything.
For sure.
It was the first thing I had an idea for. I was like, it was supposed to be an intro originally, so it was an intro only, and it only went to like the first course, and then it was done. So we added a second.
Okay.
We added a second verse and then a big chorus at the end, like a halftime chorus. But it wasn't like that before at all. It was just an intro. And then I showed some of my friends and they were like, stop. Like, you need to turn it into an entire song. That doesn't make any sense. Like, and I was just like, no. It was a timing too. So I was like stressed out and I was like pissed off. I was like, everyone shut up. Like, you're not doing what we're doing right now. We're in the studio, like, and it's like stressful. But then we did it. It was really easy to do. And honestly, it worked out well. So I'm glad it's a full song now.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean, like, that's like perfect example to correlate that concept. Barricades by Action Adventure is a minute long, and people are begging for them to make it longer or to like do a part 2 where it like goes into another part because it was technically an intro, and that's like their biggest song right now.
Yeah, and it leaves you hanging, and then people hate that, and like I totally get that, but it was just like at the time I was like, everyone shut up, please. Yeah, you can't do this, and then
this isn't the time.
Yeah, this is no, please, like everyone is stressed up, like. But no, it's good now. I'm glad it's a full song.
Going to your previous comment too, honestly, it was a good idea to wait, at like, I mean, we're still in a pandemic in a sense, but like to wait for the album to be out longer because I have talked to a few artists of mine or friends and they released albums in 2020. I guess they were just like, fuck it, like, let's see what happens. And they got pretty bummed out about like just numbers and just stuff in general. And like, you can't tour on it. And then not only that, like some of them did a live stream and like how many live streams can you really do during a pandemic to grab the audience's attention, unless if you don't have like a plethora of fucking 10-year anniversary albums you can do, or like, you know what I mean? So
I know it's like, there's only so much you can do to like stay afloat, and like when you're not touring, you know what I mean, like,
right,
that's the main part of the whole thing. It's really hard, so it's really it was super weird.
And then there's bands like Me Without You who like wanted to end and now they still haven't stopped because the pandemic keeps putting it on hold. We have a shirt that says Me Without You, and this is 2020, 2021, 2022.
Yeah.
Like, it's perfect.
Dude, like the Drug Church made a shirt with like the record release on it before the pandemic, and I like got it, and then like it's now coming out next year. So I'm like, that was 2 years ago.
They should just keep it, like band, like everything like that. They should just keep their stuff, and it's just that's the times. Like, it's the sign of the times.
Yeah, like, exactly. But like, I don't know. Like, I feel like you can't sell that merch now. People are like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, that makes no sense. Where's this date? Why is this record called something different now? Like,
I would buy it still.
Yeah, I gotta find it. I don't know where it is. Like, I gotta put it up on Depop and sell it for money.
I do feel bad though. Like you plan stuff. Like, it takes months and months and months to plan things, and everything hits the fan. Like, especially with 4 Years Strong and another band that nobody can like now. They came out with albums in the beginning of 2020.
Yeah.
And then toured on it for 2 weeks, and then everything shut down.
Yep, exactly. It's like that. It was. I mean. Yeah, it sucks because then your record gets like not necessarily shelved, but it does get shelved because it's just sitting there because you can't tour on it and you can't do anything creative with it. You just gotta expect people to listen to it on Spotify and shit like that. That's it.
Yeah, that's not your fault. I'm really sorry that not only you dudes in the band, but like the whole industry. Like, I was very, very scared for a lot of my friends, like, because I don't tour, man. Like, I have a full-time job and all that crazy stuff and like 9 to 5, but like I felt it for my friends, and I felt it for professionals like you who like had to fucking wait it out. Like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, dude. Like, I also work at like a bar too, so like as a part-time job, like in between stuff, and like honestly working at a bar like as well, like it was shut down as well, so like I was basically like not doing any band things and I wasn't making any tips, so it was just like a double like, okay, this sucks. So
yeah, I work in finance in now I work for Live Nation, but I did work for like a VIP company, and we did music festivals. And I just watched everyone around me lose their jobs. And then I had survivor's guilt, which is like an entirely like different thing I never even thought that existed, because like when you think of survivor's guilt, you think of like tragedies, and it is a tragedy that people lost their jobs, but it's not conventional.
Yeah, it's like when people like work from home, and then other people like don't have that luxury of working from home because they work service and shit like that. And then some people were like, "Oh my god, it's like a mini vacation." And it's like, well, I mean, for me, I had to rely on like shitty money from the government. That was like fun at first, and then it's like it's just like not enough to live. But you're taking a huge pay cut, like. And then I don't know. and then you get money, and obviously you would try to make the best of it. So like last summer, I was always like going out a lot and doing a lot of things because I was like, well, I'm trying to make it normal. Like this absolutely sucks, and I'm not used to being alone all the time. But now, I don't know. Yeah, I think going forward though, like it's like if this ever happens again, which I swear to God, if it does, I'm done. But
I can't.
if it does, like at least we'll maybe go into it with a different mindset, like because people were working from home and shit, and like my friends would be all pissed because they're like, oh, my friend gets to work from home, cushy job style, make money, while I get to like take $2,000 from the government a month, which is like, sure, you're grateful for it, but it's not enough to live in like a major city.
No.
Like my rent's like $1,300 on my own. Like so, like $2,000 a month. Like you gotta buy groceries, you gotta pay your phone bill, you gotta, you
pay rent.
If you want to put money away, like if you can, I don't know.
Right, and even like here, like the stimulus checks, like everyone got the same amount of money, but like $1,300 in Oklahoma is $1,300. $1,300 in New York is $12.
Yeah, it's $12. Yeah.
Like it's just nothing. Like $1,300 is like a quarter of your rent.
Yep. If you look at it, like ours was $2,000 a month, and if you look at it, like most people in Toronto, like that wasn't covering their rent on their own. Like it was fucked. But then my friends in my hometown, like which is like 30 minutes away, still expensive-ish, but it's like the fact that their rent would be like for an entire one bedroom would be like $800, $900, when mine was like $1,300. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is a big jump.
So, question for you, since you are from a different country. So I'm sure you know how we handled COVID very poorly.
Fucking ain't that right? Jesus Christ,
you're gonna ask how we handled COVID? I don't think we did it right in Ontario at all. But I mean, like we just the lockdowns kind of made no sense, and then they thought it was like bar, like night culture shit, which like totally it is. Like don't get me wrong, it's like a mix of everything, but they weren't shutting down schools, so like public schools, like for a long time were just open, and like kids were going in, and like a fucking kid doesn't want to wear a mask, and like a kid's not gonna wash his hands every 2 seconds, and like that's not their fault, but like they just didn't do it. Like they shut down bars forever, and the numbers are still rising, so it clearly wasn't like from like restaurants,
right?
Or if it was like a very small percentage, and so yeah, I think Ontario just fucked up. We had so many lockdowns, it was depressing.
Because that's what I kept seeing, like, even on TikTok, like, I would see, like, people talking shit, be like, oh, you guys in America, you never shut down, blah, 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 blah. And, like, in some states, that would be correct, but, like, I live in New Jersey. We very much shut down.
Yeah, I think Ontario had, like, 4 lockdowns.
Yeah, but I kept seeing that, like, oh, we're on our 3rd lockdown, we're on our 4th lockdown, and I'm like, what the hell is happening in Canada?
Yeah. Toronto was like the fucking, just Ontario. I guess Toronto, but like Ontario was so shitty this time around. It just was like very hard to navigate, honestly.
Are you guys like back to normal?
No, but like it's still like the numbers aren't crazy. I don't think the bars and shit are I don't think we're going into another lockdown at all. I doubt it. They're talking about releasing the mask mandate like in like public spaces like in March. I guess yeah. So like in March we're gonna get whatever. Hopefully you don't have to wear masks and shit. But I feel like I'm going to anyways on like like on the streetcar and shit like that.
Right. Oh yeah.
But like, yeah.
Oh my God, the streetcar. Wait, sorry.
Yeah.
Is that what you call public transportation?
Well, we have like subways and we have streetcars. Streetcars are just like okay, how to explain this? In San Francisco, you would see those like trolleys going up the street. We have those.
Okay, and they're cool. I love that. Can we? We should adopt that.
We should adopt that. Yeah. Well, I mean.
Yeah, you guys should because it's technically free if you're not a coward.
we have trolleys in Philly. They're just called trolleys.
I mean, is it easy to sneak on? Yeah, no, because it's very easy here.
Oh Dude, my God, that's funny.
When I toured Canada, I toured with the Sharks, and they asked for a dart, and I was like, "I'm sorry, bro."
A dart,
like,
yeah.
What? And it never hit me with the culture. Like it's a cigarette. I'm like, you call them darts? That's fucking wild. Then I'm
very Canadian to call a cigarette a dart, honestly.
Yeah, and
pretty gross.
And then
Of course,
fucking,
those guys. Was it Will Plummer? Like, was he like?
it was Colin, Will, and Jason. Yeah, they were calling them darts and shit. And Randy's like, you don't know what a
Of course,
dart
those
is?
guys
I
were.
was like,
Of course,
I
they were
don't
calling
know,
them darts.
dude.
That's so very typical. Okay.
See, I didn't have a normal Canadian experience. I toured with Story
You
Untold,
would
and
love it, Canada's
but they're
rappers.
French Canadian, so they very much spoke French.
They barely speak English, yeah, because like we
Yeah.
toured with them and we were like talking to like Janik, and he'd be like the only one who like didn't have a super, like, he had a thick accent, but like he just was like I feel like the drummer at the time, like I talked to him and he was like really sweet, but like I honestly like I don't think he knew what I was saying. He was just like
No, he
English
definitely
was like his
doesn't.
second language for sure.
I think Janik was probably the most fluent in English.
Oh, totally. But it makes sense though. He was like YouTube guy, right? Like he's YouTube streamer guy, so it makes sense. I feel like that was just like, I mean, especially if you're talking that much and like your most of your audience is English, you know, it makes
but
sense.
like, it was, and then they did know what what's the thing called with the icing someone? They did know what that was.
Smirnoff. Yeah,
that's weird because like I feel like everyone in Ontario knows that, so I feel like one province away they might know that, but that's weird. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if they learned it from someone, but like there was a lot of Smirnoff ices on that tour.
Jesus
boy,
Christ.
They probably just learned it, so they're probably going crazy with that. That's funny.
But dude, and then not only that, man, like I'm kind of gullible, so Jason got me with like, oh, dude, like, our fucking currency is scratch and sniff. It smells like maple syrup. I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude. It's like, that's not true. Like, I know I'm fucking gullible, but that shit ain't real. Like, and then
that's an idea though.
It wasn't, dude. He's fucking smart. Like,
dude, that shit like melts in the dryer. We're good.
It's plastic. It's fucking really thin plastic.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yours is just like what, cotton and something else?
Yeah, something like
I don't know. If it goes to the washer and dryer, it's okay.
It just looks like mangled, and you just have to straighten it out.
Yeah, you just straighten it. And
all the drugs will be off of it after that. Like,
exactly, 100%. That's how you clean your money.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
We just have a bunch of Illuminati symbols, and that's why I invest only in cryptocurrency. I don't have any U.S. dollars anymore. All my money's in crypto, so I'm going to pay.
You want to give them, you want to give them.
Dude, if I can buy this album through crypto and keep it in circulation, I would be 100% for that.
It's a free market, baby. I was doing like, I was trying to get into like stock stuff, and I did a couple trades that make me like a lot of money. It was kind of sick. Well, not a lot of money, like a fair amount for like being a small investor.
For sure.
Like a very small investor.
So what, like Tesla?
It was kind of nice, but sorry?
Was it Tesla?
No, it was AMC and
AMC and GameStop. Let's go.
GameStop. Yeah. I didn't do GameStop. It was too pricey at the time. So I was doing AMC, and I was trying to get into Shopify, but Shopify was too much at that time. So it was mostly just AMC and a bunch of weed stocks and like Canadian drone delivery stuff, which like at the time seemed like a huge thing. I bought like 110 shares for like $8, and I just lost so much money on it. Probably like $100 I lost on it, and it never recovered. But like people were like, "This is the next thing," and I was like, "Okay, true." Like, I mean, like there's those Amazon delivery bots and shit. Like, drone shit should be next, maybe. And so like I kind of just like did it, and it didn't do anything for me.
I was told to like just invest what I'm willing to lose. I was like, okay, that's
to
actually
be fair. Like
sense.
I didn't. It was like $500. It wasn't like a lot of fucking money,
right? For sure.
Like, as opposed to like Sam, like the guy who did our record. He's like looking at Tesla, and he's like, "Oh fuck, my Tesla's up like 21 grand right now." I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like,
yeah, I went big dummy and SHIB, and I won't get into cryptocurrency like that because I could talk about that forever. But listen, if I can buy Control My Sanity in crypto, I'll be more than happy to give you some SHIB for it or some Doge, whatever you guys take. I don't care.
Let's go. Like, yeah, I'm down for that.
Is there a correlation with the title of this album to actually when you were writing it during the pandemic, and how fucking difficult was that? It sounds like because you guys couldn't even be in the same fucking room when you were writing this.
It kind of has to do with a lot. Like most people are like, "Oh, Control My Sanity." That makes sense. Like pandemic is probably about that. I mean, it's about a lot of things. It's just about like relationship stuff with friends and like taking SSRIs and like them not really working or doing what they're supposed to do, and then just like being stuck in a pandemic, being alone. Like there's so many factors to this whole thing, honestly. So yeah, it's kind of up to interpretation at this point. But
yeah, I just want to know if there's a correlation. But I mean, it's just the difficulties that this band had to go through just to get this fucking record like out there, taking double the time and sending fucking fucking tracks through
We were
phones
sending
and shit,
voice
you know what I
notes and
mean?
shit to each other the entire time, and then sending tracks. But like obviously it's the same with like send a bounce when he could, but like sometimes he'd be like working with us. I'm like, all right, cool. Like we leave the studio, and then a minute later he started another session for like 6 hours with someone else. And so it was like, a 15-hour day for him. And so a lot of voice note sending back and forth and whatnot. And it was fucking hard. It was weird.
Yeah, it's not normal. Not
No.
normal at all. Like, it's just like a crazy fucking concept that like a lot of people had to really, fucking go through these hoops and like try to like make the best of what it was. Like, because we said earlier, touring is the bread and butter, which people don't understand in this industry. And like,
And a lot of people don't like touring. Like it's a very taxing thing physically and emotionally, but that's where the money is.
yeah. Well,
Honestly.
when I talked to Calling All Captains, Nick was like that people, it's cute that people think we're having fun, which in a sense, I was on tour for a little bit. Like, we do have fun, but like, it can be fucking exhausting. You're eating like shit, you're tired, you're always driving,
Yeah, like, I mean, straight up, you're just treating your body like shit. And if you're treating it well, it's like good for you. It's really hard to do that. It's also really hard to stay on top of that. Like, once a week we'd all be like, okay, we need to eat something, we need to eat a salad. Like,
yeah,
because like none of us are eating, you know what I mean? Like, but I think that sucks because like I don't want to do that all the time. But and I don't want to I'm like punishing my body with like beer and like just like like shitty soft drinks and fast food and whatever, and like we just get so over it. So it's like I do understand where touring is like where people don't want to do it necessarily because it's like it's just taxing. But then again, that's where the money comes from. So you kind of have to do it.
I would purposely not pay. I'm sorry. I would purposely not drink water so I wouldn't have to pay because I have to pee all the time. And like I have to get out of a van. Like I'm not.
Yeah, that's me. But like I have an Nalgene bottle. And I drink so much water on tour.
Oh.
It's usually because I'm like eating a ton of McDonald's and shit. I need to flush it out,
but I would always not drink water so I wouldn't have to stop the van from getting to where it needs to be.
Oh my god. So. that's also really bad.
And no one told me to do that. Like it's not like someone on tour was like, Shana, you're not allowed to pee anymore. I just like
you gotta not drink.
I like felt bad. I was like, I'm the only girl. There is 10 men. Everyone can pee in a damn bottle.
And
they would pee in a bottle, which would be fine, but I'm like, I can't.
Which would be fun. It depends. You realize like how much a bottle doesn't hold. You know what I mean? Like, and then you're really fucked. You're like, where else am I supposed to go? Like, that's why I always get
the job's not finished at that point.
It's not, and you're like,
sucks.
And you're like, fuck, someone give me another bottle. But it's like a Gatorade bottle. Like, that's probably your best bet. But sometimes that's not even not enough. I don't know. That's why I don't really drink a lot of alcohol, dude. Like,
yeah, it's not for me. That's I don't miss I don't miss touring now. Talking about this, like fuck that. That sucks.
No, but I think the best part about it too is like, especially when you have diehard fans in general and the intimate like relationship that you're performing in front of them, like, is probably the best part of touring,
totally,
for sure.
It totally is. And like I feel like there's like that 30 minutes a night where it's like that, you know what I mean? And the rest of it can be like fun, or it can be like I don't know, like depends. Like everyone is obviously different, you know what I mean? Like for me, like I get super burnt out on a tour. Like the last week I'm like begging to go home no matter what. I'm like, fuck, even if like you're playing your favorite cities and stuff like that, I'm like, oh my god, I have to go home. But like that's how it goes. And then some people can just do it the entire time without
be fine,
being upset at all or whatever, like not missing home at all. Then some people are just like, I won't even tour. Like they'll write music, but they're like, find someone else to tour for me.
Oh yeah, plenty of examples that are like that. I mean, how often do you do vocal rest of like not talking? How often do you do that when you're on the road? Like, do you take a couple days?
Like not at all. Like when I'm sleeping,
what? Dude, you have such a gritty voice. Like I feel like if you didn't do
I feel like I've got lymph nodes and shit for sure. I don't take care of my voice at all. I just don't care. I mean, like I feel like I just know what I'm doing now. It's like muscle memory. But like no, I mean, like I don't do vocal. I mean, I'll do vocal rest if I have to. Like if my voice is like shot, I'll do it, of course. But like for the most part, like I talk so much that it's not gonna go away.
There you go. So is the Toronto show at Seaway coming up? Is that the first like Pacific show back?
Yeah, the last show was March like 9th, 10th, or 11th before the world shut down in a crowded fucking sold out room in Hamilton. And the photos are like, it looks like a super spreader event. It looks crazy.
So cool.
So this is the first time, first show. Yeah, it's gonna be fucking crazy.
It's gonna be a
honestly.
sold out lineup in Toronto, dude. At
Exactly,
the
with
Opera
all
House. It's gonna be
friends,
fucking
and we're friends
sick.
with every single band that gets all of our friends. So
So sick.
I saw it got moved.
yeah, so it was at the Mod Club originally on the 3rd of December, and now it's at the Opera House on the 5th.
Which is a larger venue.
Larger venue. Honestly, it makes sense. It's like a Sunday, so I know it's a little weird, but it's like a holiday time. I feel like people are gonna fucking whatever.
Oh,
They're gonna
absolutely.
have fun anyways, you know.
Yeah. And it's on the weekend.
I thought about going, and then I realized that my passport's expired, and they will not allow me in the country.
No, they
Yeah,
will
you
not.
can't do that.
No, they will not. Seaway, like
It's
Pacific
only 8 hours
Bearings.
away. It's not far.
I know. Yeah, totally. It's not that far of a drive.
Dude, it's like 7 hours from us. Shana was saying.
yeah,
like,
it's so easy.
yeah.
Nothing to me. I mean, most of I've never seen Rarity.
And
So-
Lockett. I don't know who Lockett is, but I know the rest of the bill.
That Lockett was Safe to Say.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
Brad is the bass player of Like Pacific is the vocalist of Lockett. They're on.
There we go.
That's
They're
fucking sick.
on. What is Lockett on? Fueled by Ramen. Side
Maybe?
one dummy. Let me see. I'm gonna look it up.
I know.
I think I can just text Brad right now.
Okay, what label?
It's a race.
is
It's a
that on?
race. It's a race.
know.
I'm looking at the album. Whoa, Fearless.
Fearless?
Records.
Fearless. That's what it is.
Whoa.
No, Fearless, yeah.
That's a
So yeah,
big
Brad,
old label.
Brad from Like Pacific is in another band, and they're on Fearless.
We took
Um,
we talked off the record for a little bit, but like, how was that first show back that you did? It wasn't with like Specific, but
Oh, it was with my other band Ray. Last night it was mental. It was like our band's this band Friction. They're like a hardcore band from Toronto doing a record release, and like it was absolutely nuts last night. Like it was fucking.
I love that for you.
I just got super messed up. We all did. Like I'm paying for it today, but whatever. Yeah, no, it was cool. It was weird. Like at first it was like, oh, this doesn't feel right, because like how we've been in the last couple of years, or 2 years of like the lockdowns and shit. But
Dude, for real.
it was also nice to be back. Like it felt good. It was like, okay, like this is like a step in the right direction. Let's just keep doing this. But then again, like people weren't wearing their masks and shit, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Are they doing like the no green room kind of stuff?
No, the place we played last night, there isn't really a green room, honestly. And we kind of
Okay.
just like went in, like, so like it was hosted by Vans, like, so like my friend Matt from Friction works for Vans Canada, and like all the guys like work for Vans or whatever, and so we're all really close. And so Vans put it on last night, and so we all got like free shoes and shit like that. So we were like drinking in the Vans van and drinking in alleyways out front and shit like that. So we could have our like outside green room in Canada. It was freezing, but like
for sure.
but yeah, no, it's crazy. Shows are back.
They're
Yeah.
starting to come back. And you know what's
Yes.
good though? You were telling us too that they did checks Vax cards, so that if
They
anybody's
did, yeah,
listening,
yeah,
they
totally.
all test Vax cards. And any show that Shana and I have been to or separately, they've checked Vax cards, which is good. So it's good.
Yeah, it makes you. It just makes you feel like obviously a little more safe, because it's like
Yes.
if you do get sick, you're not gonna die from it now,
No.
or there's no
absolutely.
potential of really dying from it. So
Absolutely. One quick question from me.
Mhm.
You don't have to say it publicly because I'm sure like you don't announce that stuff until it happens. But do you have any features on this album?
no,
Maybe Shane
we
from
don't.
Silverstein. Oh, okay. Because I know you
I'm
work
the
with
kid-
Sam, and if anybody knows, if you're not familiar with Sam, he's done work
Okay,
for.
Sam has done. Sam did some harmonies on the record. I'll tell you that. That's a feature, I guess.
Oh, that's cool. Fuck yeah! I
he
didn't
did some
know. I
touch
didn't
and
know he
harmonies.
was
You
gonna be a
have to
part of
find
that.
them, I guess.
Okay.
But no, like it's funny because I'm like the king of guest vocal spots, but like I don't want anyone to do guest vocal spots on my record unless it's like, I don't know, someone like huge or something. Like I want money. Let's go.
Yeah, like
give me some
Shane from
fucking
Silverstein,
money.
bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, well, I mean, he's got to pay me, but no. If he asked, I would let him. If he asked, I would let him, but I don't think he would ask. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. No, I was just curious. Now, because like sometimes I'm able to guess who it is.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Like who do I just who I just have on that I know who I'm gonna be featuring. I Met a Yeti. They definitely have Andreas on. Conquer Divide. I didn't say it, but they did have Cal and Quinn on. So like, I usually I'm pretty smart when it comes to that kind of shit. But no, I was just curious. I was just curious. But I mean, still December.
No, yeah,
the album's on my birthday.
no.
You released this album for me specifically.
Yeah,
so like,
I knew this already. Yeah, totally.
I know.
Save my childhood friend. I totally remembered his birthday. Like, didn't forget at all.
This album is his thank you gift.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was like, oh, thank you so much for like selling me weed in grade 9. Here you go. Thank you for letting us drink in your parents' garage. There you go. Like,
oh, dude. Like, my weed was shit in fucking 10th grade, 11th grade. Don't miss it. Yeah. Actually, I think by 12th grade I got the good stuff. You just had to pay a little extra.
By 12th grade?
Wait, like, you talking about good weed?
Dude, I got ripped off when I was in like 10th, 11th grade with like really shitty weed, and we called it. Oh, I can't say what it's called because then it tells what city I live in. But it was like brown seeds and stems. Like that, we would smoke that shit in a hookah because we had no idea what we were doing, and then we get fucking headaches later. I'm like, man, like, and then we finally started smoking good weed.
We call that bush weed, or like
let's just call it bush
barn. Weed. Like it's just barn. It's like a barn. Or like obviously like there's Reggie and mids.
Yeah, mids. That's what we essentially call it, but there was something a lot worse for that.
Yeah, I guess we would call them mids. Mm-hmm. Everything was kush back in the day, though. Like when I was younger, like every week, someone would go, "I have weed," and someone would tell it to you, and we go, "Is it kush?" And they would just lie and go, "Yeah, it's kush," because like that was like popular, but we didn't know what the fuck that was. Like,
California and Denver were the only places that we can technically get them from. So someone was getting it shipped somewhere over to the East Coast to fucking sell that shit. So props to them.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew a bunch in my backyard this year and just sold a bunch recently.
Oh, that's awesome.
I was like, let's go.
It's because the season's over now for that, right? So you want so it's like towards
it was like April to November, April to end of October.
Wow, that's a very long process.
Yeah, to get it germinated. I went full nerd on it. I like went on YouTube and like learned everything about it. And like I was like neutralizing water and shit for these plants. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like,
fuck, that's so tight.
But like it was nothing else to do. There was nothing else.
I can't even keep a succulent alive.
Oh, I can't either. But I can either. But there was incentive to get high. So
there we go. See, maybe I need an incentive.
Like a succulent's not gonna make me like trip out.
Look at this thing behind me. This snake plant. I neglect that thing and it thrives, dude. Like I don't have to do anything to it. I could talk shit to it right now and be like, dude, that's great. Like,
it would probably grow a little bit.
That's it's fucking massive. Like
it's weird that weed like is the hardest thing to grow too, because like it's like temperamental. It's like it's just a weed that grows out of the ground, but you gotta like fucking, if you want it to be good, you gotta take care of it. So I really did, because I was so bored.
Dude, that's a great way to pass time. And plus, dude, like my friend, like my bass player is like he grows hops on the side of his house, and he says it's kind of like similar to the process of wheat in a sense. Like
we had that growing on the side of my house as well for a bit too. Like it's pretty wild. They're temperamental. It's like fucking, you got to take care of it.
Yeah, you gotta baby them. It smells good though, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, totally.
Recently, all of the time it feels like, they're obviously. Well, you guys would define yourselves as a pop punk band, even if you guys are a little, I think, harder.
Yeah, but like, I mean, I would just call it that.
Yeah, I feel like pop punk is just. We talked about this before, George. It's a Warped Tour band, and Warped Tour has a bad connotation sometimes, but like, there's like so many genres that played Warped Tour throughout the 20 years.
It's very umbrella-y, yeah.
Yeah, so like, basically, if you would have, or could have, or may have played Warped Tour, that's your genre now. That's what I'm going to call everything.
Literally, especially if you're an alumni of 2016, like Pacific. But she was right on the money with that.
That was so quick.
Oh, I'm fucking. I just missed you. We were on 17. I just missed you.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
We were the second to last before it fucking just completely ended. 18, I did pass by your set in Jersey because I went to go see Yellow Card. And you were playing. Oh fuck! What stage was it?
Stage.
Yeah, you were playing a stage.
Oh, Full Sail.
Was it Full Sail? Yes, because Hail the Sun was on that stage, and I saw Hail the Sun, and I was waiting for like Pacific, and no, I was waiting for Hail the Sun, and then I saw you guys for a hot second before Yellow Card came on. You guys were really good. But yeah, Shayna had this, dude. Your concept, Shayna, is fucking amazing because like, dude, it's warped bands. Like, the genre should be just warped. Like, that
Because,
way we
like,
don't
even
fucking.
like, okay, Dance Gavin Dance played Warped Tour. Like, I mean,
Yeah, I don't even know what that genre of that band is. Like, it's a good band, but like, what the fuck are they?
It's
what is
Swan.
that?
It's called Swancore. Will Swan has started his own genre.
Well,
it's like
he definitely
R&B
coined
meets
it.
like experimental, like soft grind meets like.
I will die
I
on the
don't
hill
know.
that Tillian Pearson is a stripper. I don't care when anyone says that man strips on the side.
It sounds like it's a dream of yours, not really
Have you
something
seen
that happened
him
on the
perform?
side.
This is
The man's a
fantasy
stripper.
style. Like, I don't
He's
know, bro.
fucking gorgeous. I mean, don't get me wrong, but that sounds like a personal dream, Shayna. I don't know about you, but
I actually am a fan of Kurt Travis if I were to pick Dance Gavin Dance singers. But yeah.
Well, the guy with the bob, he had the black bob.
Yeah.
That was like a fucking wild haircut, bro. It was sick. I was
Yeah.
kind of jealous, but like, I don't have any hair, so I can't.
neither
talk
do
to
I.
it, but
Hey, fuck yeah.
yeah, I don't have any hair at all. It's fucking. Ooh. So like, yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, I remember. Who was the original vocalist? Johnny Craig, obviously.
Yeah, Johnny Craig was that.
Johnny Craig,
vocalist.
actually, funny story. Like, went to, we played South by So What, and he said, came up to me and said, "Hey, someone said we look like brothers," and then he went and bought all of our records. What the fuck?
Cool. Okay.
I was like, thank you. I was like, sick, thank you. Like,
That's crazy. That's so fucking that's just crazy how he just said that.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we look like brothers. I bought all your shit. Like, okay, thanks.
he like bought a
Johnny
record,
Craig.
like a shirt or something, and I was like, okay, like thank you. Like, and we just gave him like a CD or something. I was like,
Oh
sick,
wow.
bro.
I worked at this venue in Jersey, and Johnny Craig came, and it was like Johnny Craig, Mod Sun, I forget who else, but like I was working in the green room, and I am 16, maybe 17. He comes up to me and he asked me if I know where to get drugs. I won't say what drugs, but like
I think we know, but
Okay.
I looked at him and I was like, "Sir, I don't know."
sir,
no.
I'm 16. Like, I only know where to get Capri Sun. Like,
Yeah.
I can tell you how to get alcohol. That's about it, and even that I'm not allowed to buy legally.
yeah, of course not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for real.
that's a ballsy ass move. That's
And I just like couldn't. And then like all the terrible stories I've heard about Johnny Craig, I was like, now it all checks. This all checks.
it totally fucking does. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Oh God, oh my. So back to the original, the genre. So I'm gonna call you Warped Tour genre, and every
Okay.
band I interview moving forward will be Warped Tour genre.
Okay.
So you know, there's a lot of things happening in that genre throughout the years. Obviously, like the genre gets a really bad name for straight white men being terrible to women.
Of course.
Most recently, like the stuff came out about All Time Low and Jack Barracat and all of that, and how they handled it. The poorest I think I've ever seen a band handle it.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Sorry, I don't care.
I like it, but it's yeah.
Dude, like little like All Time Low stands on like Twitter are like fucking just going off. I'm like, bro, you're idolizing a fucking sexual assaulter. Or like, go off, like do your thing, I guess, if that's what you want to, you know.
Well, All Time Low had been in my top 5 for a really long time, but I always like in the back of my head, I was like, I refuse to get a tattoo because I know the ball's gonna drop, and I know I just had this deep down feeling. I was like, there's no way that these two men, it was either gonna be Jack or Alex, that like they're let minors throw bras on stage still,
Yeah.
and it be okay. And so I was just like, I refuse to get a tattoo. I'm not fucking doing it. And look what happened.
You made a good decision, honestly. Like,
Yeah. So like that's the most recent stuff that has happened. And then we have like really positive things with bands like Meet Me at the Altar and like Magnolia Park and Action Adventure, and we have like these POCs becoming in the scene and like have representation
Meet
in
Me at
that
the
way.
Altar is fucking sick.
Aren't they, dude? She saw them and sent me a DM on IG. I was so jealous. Like, wait, you're fucking watching them right now? Like, I put them
Dude,
on my
they're
TikTok all the time. I love that band. They're
It's the catchiest shit I've ever heard.
dude,
in my life.
They're so
that
incredible.
is easycore, man. Like, that is the
Yeah,
best
totally. It's
easycore.
sick.
That dude, honestly,
Yes.
and I'm gonna say this right now, dude. That's the best fucking easycore since fucking Chunk, dude. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Like, I
Dude,
like
we
you
played
can
with-
name me
we
a
were
bunch of
talking
bands.
about,
Like,
like,
that shit's
2012 in Montreal,
so
and it was
good,
so
dude.
funny because like those guys are just like so French.
Oh
It was
yeah,
just, like,
They are.
And we were in
my
Montreal. and,
God.
like, it's a way different French there, so it was just like it was just like a fun. It was a mess. It was funny.
I watched my friend interview Bert, and that was so funny because Bert doesn't speak the best English.
He just said, "Hey, dude, are you ready to?" Like,
they're on Fearless. I thought they were on Pure Noise.
Dude, I love you. That's fucking hilarious. Hey, dude, are you ready to?
But and then it's great that we're seeing that like positive representation, but there really isn't much queer representation in this scene. I mean, I'm pretty sure Meet Me at the Altar, they are, at least maybe one or two of them are.
All or a few members are definitely queer for sure.
Yeah. But and then maybe Trash, and I think Trash Boat, but like that's it. And like there's all this like negative stigmas, but like we never talk about the positive and like the representation and like how things are changing in the scene and how people are more comfortable being themselves and how they've always been and how it always should have been.
Yeah.
And so like how I don't know much about like were you always gay, and that was not.
No, I got Pfizer and I finally turned gay.
Yeah, exactly. I heard a story.
Oh, I got Pfizer and Moderna, so I'm bi.
But I actually heard a story of someone says, okay, so my friend recently, he like came out to me that he was gay, and it was after he got the Pfizer shot. I'm like, I'm pretty sure those are just timed poorly.
It has nothing to do with it. We're trying to control everything, you know. That's it.
Oh my god, dude.
Oh, it was. But obviously not what I meant. But when like Pacific started as a band, like, were you always out?
Oh yeah, totally. I didn't like. It was one of those things where it was like, it started when I was like 20, and I hadn't been out since I was like 18, so like it didn't really matter, and I don't think anyone really cared.
Yeah, that's what. Did anyone ever like? Did you ever get any? Like,
no, I was friends with a lot of like skateboarders and a lot of hardcore kids, so like I feel like it was like, not that it was like, I just feel like I had a lot of backing. If anything ever happened, I'd be like, okay, like I don't know.
Oh.
We were fighters in high school, so.
Also, I just would like to compliment you on your Instagram handle. It's it's wonderful. I have to say.
I get called it like, and person, no one just says Jordan anymore. It's just like, okay, daddy, and I'm like, oh fuck, like, that's never gonna leave me.
Yeah, but dude, your sense of humor kind of like relates to your fucking Instagram. Yeah. You know, your humor is fucking gold right now. Dark fucking sarcasm, dry humor.
I try.
Okay, daddy.
It always so then the other, glad that you have no negative stories.
Yeah.
Wonderful. But in that same like vein, with like women, especially in the music industry, like you see like Hayley Williams is one person, and then every female fronted band is like, she's kind of like Hayley Williams. They're kind of like Hayley Williams.
I know. I fucking know. It's like such a cop-out answer. It's so stupid. Right. It's like, what, do you not expand your brain and listen to any other band?
Right.
You have to like, oh, it's just like Hayley Williams. Like, not all women sound the same. You fucked. Like,
at all. Like, not even a little. And then but with like branding in terms of just like PR and all of that, you'll see female fronted. And I've seen, when I was doing research on, but when I was looking research on like Pacific, I saw a handful of times it was either gay fronted or queer fronted.
What,
and I was
articles?
Like, yeah. And so
I'll take that though, because I feel like if that gets, like, for me, if that gets any more traction to other people or other subgenres, I'll fucking take anything.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But like, otherwise, I'm like, okay, like I'm not exactly what my identity is, like, all the time. Like, I mean, I'm also Jordan, you know. Right. But like, that being said, like, that doesn't really bother me, as opposed to like, because I feel like that's more informative, as opposed to like, yeah, of course, you know, Paramore is a female fronted band because it's Hayley Williams. You know what I mean? Like, that's different, as opposed to someone might not know I'm gay, and if they find out, they might find that out and be like, oh, that's cool, I'm gonna check out this band, as opposed to being, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like a difference of wordship. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Okay, because I saw a Reddit thread that someone actually asked, like, is there any like queer representation in pop punk? And it was a whole thread, and the first answer was, the only band I can think of is like Pacific.
Sick, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Wear that crown, King. Wear that crown.
I'm gonna wear that crown. I'm trying to make that money. I'm 30 years old. I want to fucking buy a mansion. Let's go.
Hey, Sam, let's go.
That's not ever gonna happen, but I mean, whatever.
So
I mean, we're musicians. We took the hard fucking career. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I fucked up.
No. You guys are great, dude. No. You didn't have to have. You didn't. Have you ever been discriminated like in this scene because of it? No.
I feel like a long time ago there was like someone in a band like from Canada that like just was like maybe like talking shit a little bit, and I just kind of like put him in his place, and he tried to apologize to me. I said, "Don't ever talk to me ever again." And
Good for you.
Yeah.
it was gonna get like physical, I think, and then we just never. I mean, that guy doesn't do shit anymore, and he's not in a band, so I don't give a fuck. But like he's not doing anything with his life, so I don't care. But like it's karma. But yeah, like I don't know. Besides that, no, never. I got
Good.
lucky. I got very lucky with that. You know, obviously people have it way harder. I just got super insanely lucky with it.
Yeah, you hear, especially with women, you hear these.
It's way
terrible.
harder for women.
But
It's
that's the thing. It just like shouldn't matter. None of it should matter.
No, of course
Like-
not. But the thing is, that's not how the world works. The world is pretty fucking
Shitty.
ill. Yeah. So I don't know. People's got some weird ideals.
Oh man. But good. But yeah, I was very genuinely curious if you cared about being labeled as like queer fronted.
No, it doesn't bother me at all. Like, I mean, it doesn't. It's like I'm neutral about it. I don't really care. You know what I mean? Like.
Also, people are trying to look out more for representation too, I guess.
So that's what I'm saying. That being said, like when it's out there and that's put in front of like the band, like it's also just like gives people to be like, oh, I didn't know that. Okay, cool, I'm that. So I'm gonna, you know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, I'm a part of a Facebook group called Girls Behind the Rock Show. And
that's
a
how
lot
we
of
met.
that is
Kind
how
of.
we met.
Well, through a party. I'm not in that. Group,
Yeah.
But if you were, that would also be okay. But there's a lot of people on there, and they're like, we specifically want a female merch manager or a female tour manager, and they're looking for certain representation of just because like everyone's sick of straight white men only supporting straight white men.
Totally, it's just a homie complex thing. Honestly, it's weird. And then like most of those homies are bad people.
Yeah.
Or they can be, you know. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think the realization of it is like, I think the whole group in itself is fantastic.
I'm sorry, George, that you're a straight white man. I just realized that. We're talking shit.
Nah, dude. What I'm.
Yeah,
well,
actually, every time you talk, I mute you, just so you know. Okay.
And
totally.
The diversity in pop punk in general is extremely refreshing right now.
Yeah.
My biggest TikTok was literally like I put like 6-7 pop punk bands on my TikTok. One of them including mine band, mostly POC, and females and everything you can think of. And they're like, the representation is chef's kiss. I'm like, these are just really good pop punk bands. Like that wasn't really the intention, but yeah.
Yeah,
like,
but like, that's where the was going now, and that's kind of a good thing, right? It's just becoming normal now.
Oh, it's fucking great music. Like, dude, Hot
Yeah.
Milk, Magnolia Park, Meet Me at the Altar, Action Adventure, We Were Sharks, Poeta, shout out my band, like Pacific. Like, there's just so many fucking really good bands out there. Well, it was in the video. Let's be safe about it. Real quick question though. But yeah, I would rather have more diversity in this fucking scene for sure. And in any other scene, it makes it a little bit more fucking fun. Trust me. Fucking straight creepy white dudes are annoying. Trust me. They give me a bad rep. Plus, I'm a drummer, so like the stereotype for being late all the time is real, and I do not abide by that. But I know so many drummers that do that. I'm like, you're making me look so bad.
Oh, God.
Hypothetical question, and then we'll definitely sign off for sure. I was talking to Shana and a couple artists about this as well. In general, there's no really other way to ask this question, but how would you feel personally about like Pacific or maybe other artists, bands, etc.? Would you think it would be a good idea to take the record contracts that are through the label and through artists and bands and to be put out into the public, kind of like how athletes have their contracts released to the public? Would you be into something like that, or do you think that would be like a gray area where you probably wouldn't be comfortable releasing your specific contract signed with Pure Noise Records?
It's weird. Like, I mean, like, it's a gray area for sure, because I also just think of it as like a, you know, like sometimes a band is just bigger than another band and they get a better contract or whatever. You know what I mean? Someone's going to make a better person money, and I totally get it. Like, I feel like it's up to like you. I feel like it's like if you wanted to show people or talk about it, then do it totally.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm also like, it is like, I don't know, it's like some things are just meant to be that way. Like unless it's like a shitty thing and you're getting fucked over by a label. But then again,
that was the idea behind it for sure.
Yeah, exactly. But I feel like you know, on a label like Pure Noise, you look at it and everyone like they don't have people that leave Pure Noise unless they get signed to a giant label. So it's like you can pick and choose, as opposed to like, I'm not gonna say this label's name, but like there's a certain label from the '90s that was really well and like prominent in like hardcore, and now is like not, and they're doing every other genre, but they're not like, they just fuck over every band that's ever, one of my friends has ever been on their label. Like it's like they here's
we
like,
can talk about Victory.
That's what I mean.
problem
That's the
throwing
other
that
thing
name out there.
too. They fucked over.
I'm talking about Victory.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
because Victory
We
literally
can throw
fucked
that
over
name out there.
Atreyu.
Everyone knows.
They fucked over
Yeah,
Atreyu,
like, they
Silverstein,
fucked over my
everybody.
friends so many times
Wait,
with, like,
Victory
records
was
and
a
shit.
hardcore label?
Yeah, in the '90s they were like on top of it. Them and Equal Vision.
See, the only thing I know about Victory is The Day to Remember and Broadside.
See, that was like, that's like obviously like way later, but like Victory was like like from like what, 96 to like 2000 was like just like a bunch of hardcore, and like, and then it just went into everything. I think went to the emo route and whatnot and shit too. But like,
yeah, seriously, because my discovery of Victory was literally Atreyu's, one of the Atreyu songs they were getting on video games and shit, and Tony Hawk and this and that, blah blah blah. So it's like that's how I kind of discovered the label. But that was the example I was using. It's like labels like Victory, which they literally fucked over all their bands, and they're not doing the best right now. I mean,
look at fucking Counterparts. They fucked over Counterparts for a bunch of shit too, because they got bought out for Pure Noise, and like the guy was just like a dickhead about it, and like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like, it's even still happening to this day. So like, I don't know.
Pros.
Well, then
I'm sorry.
A bunch of shit happened with Drive-Thru Records, with like Starting Line and Houston Calls and Hidden in Plain View and Hello Goodbye, and I think the whole label just ended up shutting down in the early 2000s. They ended up signing, like, I feel like they only signed bands from the East Coast, because like I'm looking at their bands and I'm like, all these bands are from New Jersey.
My Mac's at like 3%, and I don't have a charger.
Okay, this is your computer. Okay, but yeah, Jordan Black once again from Lake Pacific, the vocalist of the Lake Pacific, with Control My Sanity, coming on December 3rd, my birthday, his homie's birthday. So be prepared, get ready, and they also have the show December 5th, the Opera House in Toronto, the Seaway. It's gonna be a good time.
If you have your passport, go ahead and go. If you're in America,
let's go.
Unlike me.
Let's go to fucking Sam. Hit that outro.